Roderick Strong. What up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Unpopular Review. I'm the executive consultant, joined by the sheriff, and down there is Dan the man. Hey, I got a notification already. Hey, we're live. Look at that. And this is going to be a jam-packed, loaded AEW edition of Unpopular Reviews. We talk about AEW All Out as well as Dynamite tonight. That's a lot to talk about because I believe AEW All Out was about 5.5 hours. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I right or wrong?
It was a long show.
It was a long show.
It was a good show, though.
It was about 4 hours.
You said 6 hours?
No, it wasn't 5. It didn't feel like 5 hours.
No.
It was 4, maybe.
It didn't feel like 4 hours to y'all because y'all big fans of All Elite Wrestling.
You're damn right.
4 hours to us because we watched it.
We like real wrestling. All right.
Right. Yeah. WRASSLAN. Apostrophe.
People who can't spell should watch AEW. I agree. All right.
Says those WWE marks. But go ahead.
Let's talk about some AEW All Out. Do y'all want to talk about 0 Hour?
We can talk 0 Hour. If you want to talk 0 Hour, we can jump right into All Out. Either way, I'm ready to go.
Well, Sheriff, she's the vet here, so she tells me.
Well, I mean, we don't actually. I don't think we need to talk about 0 Hour because we got to cover 2 shows. Sorry, guys.
I mean, what really happened in 0 Hour? I think it was just the Battle Royal, right?
It was the Battle Royal, and then there was a. Oh, was that on the main card? See, I don't know. So yeah, it's not.
Let's go straight to AEW All Out. Then let's skip 0 Hour when they do the cook-off show. I didn't do it, so we're
I
going
think
to
the 6-man tag was what ended up closing 0 Hour.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, what started AEW All Out?
It was our champion, the tag team. Well, it was our champion and Adam Cole defending the ROH tag team titles.
And what was a surprisingly better match than I thought it was going to be. I had a little.
Now, let me ask you a question. Why would you think that match was not going to be that good? Is it because the Dark Order was in there?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm about to say because
listen, I you know what? Don't do that. The Dark Order has good matches under their belt, especially tag team matches.
Stop
right?
it. Stop.
Right?
Listen.
That Stadium Stampede with Hangman was chef's kiss, right?
It was.
Johnny Hungy can wrestle, right?
No, Hungy's fine, but the problem is the Dark Order gets lost in the shuffle since the unfortunate passing of Brody Lee. They've literally floundered with nothing. Hangman has barely kept them afloat. Hangman is barely keeping himself afloat right now, which is the sad part.
They had a good thing going when he was on his hot streak. Him and
they did. But Hangman is doing absolutely nothing right now. I don't even know if he's literally considered a part of the Elite at this point. He did that brief little, we're back together for Double or Nothing, and then you've never saw him again with the Elite.
He's Elite adjacent. He's still Elite, but he's just not all Elite. The same way he's still adjacent to the Dark Order. They didn't necessarily have a falling out, although they kind of did because they feel like Hangman was a bit of a fake friend. But he's doing a feud now with Swerve, or it looks like that's where they're going to Dynamite, but I'm jumping ahead. I like the match the right people want. I know some people are like, why is the AEW World Champion opening the show defending the ROH tag team titles? It's because the champion doesn't have to main event every show. Dun, da, da, da. The more you know, the more you grow. Okay, so there you go.
I honestly, my one knock with All Out was there was not an AEW title match and there was not a Ring of Honor title match. And I feel that there was very little build for All Out. And if you're going to have very little build, at least have a killer world title match. And I feel like that was the one thing lacking in the show. But
we got a killer. What was it? The main event. Oh, I'm jumping ahead, but the main event I felt like was really, really solid. It wasn't for a world title.
You are definitely jumping ahead.
You're confusing Hangman with CM Punk. But.
See, And I understand that. The main event was way better than it should have been, and but I feel like we are totally jumping ahead.
I know
So
what you mean,
jumping
but
in.
I don't.
We're
But I'll
talking
say
about the
this:
Ring of Honor World
The
Tag
bill-
Team Champions, right? And for some reason, now y'all talking about here to here that some people got fired. I don't know, but I know the next thing is Miro coming out to face Heyman Hobbs, not Heyman Hobbs. What's his name?
Heyman Hobbs.
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Boo!
Powerhouse
Boo
Hobbs.
this man.
I
Boo
mean,
this man.
neither one of them are interesting to me.
Boo this man.
It's not the first
That was a really, really, really good match. The crowd was loving some meat.
You know what I wasn't loving?
Meat?
Lana.
No, stop.
I'm out.
She's
Why?
she's gonna listen. She's gonna be a part of Miro's act.
Why?
I agree with Dan. Why? Why is she coming out? Do we need to see her? Nobody missed her.
Well, you can't miss her. She was never in AEW, but
I'm just gonna say, she was.
She was motorboating. What was she doing?
I like me some Lana, but
Nobody was interested in seeing Lana.
nobody was interested in seeing Lana.
well,
You missed her
Steve
for reasons.
disagrees.
He misses her for he wanted Lana to win the Raw Women's Championship and the SmackDown Women's Championship when she was in WWE. Nobody else wanted to see it, but he wanted to see it. I don't know why you like Lana. I was not interested in seeing her. Only thing people keep talking about is her angle with Bobby Lashley. Actually, that's when Steve and I actually became friends because he kept calling her Bobby Smashley, if you recall that, Sharon. So I don't want to talk about Lana with him watching, but I was not interested. But I'm always happy to see Rusev.
I was.
I'm interested in the story.
how
I'm
are you?
interested in her the way that she can help the storyline with Miro. I'm not
Absolutely.
necessarily interested in her on her own, if that makes sense.
I agree. What was
I
the?
think she's fine. I think there's a lot of good qualities that she has. I think if they utilize her correctly, she will be a fantastic asset for Miro. And it clearly, the direction it seems they're going is Miro is this unstoppable force, this beast, and Miro is and Lana is his kryptonite, CJ, whatever you want to, CJ, I guess it's going to be her name.
CJ Perry.
That is going to be his kryptonite, and that's probably the one thing that's going to. He's kind of a tweener right now, right? I think that's fair to say. He's a tweener. He's not a heel. He's not a face. He's just kind of in between. I think CJ Perry will turn him face, and that'll be the transition to that next phase.
You know what's bad is the fact that we totally skipped Samoa Joe versus Shane Taylor for the Ring of Honor World Television title. I know why I did it because AEW has too many championships. No, Steve, you should be shaming yourself. But for the AEW, the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, and
We're going in the order that they appeared on the show. So yeah, we did skip.
We skipped it. Yeah, we skipped it. So let's talk about that match. Shane Taylor, who may not be familiar to the audience as much because of his prior Ring of Honor work, but him versus Samoa Joe, who had a little shoving contest with MJF at the beginning of this match. I thought, pretty much did a decent job. I mean, Shane Taylor is actually underrated, and Samoa Joe is a fantastic talent when he's healthy.
He is, but Samoa Joe has been healthy for the majority of his run in AEW, and he has been
this might be his longest run without being injured.
Yes, he's been a revelation. I really think Samoa Joe, in light of the whole issues right now with CM Punk and him no longer being there, Samoa Joe seems to have the respect, and he is definitely a locker room leader. And I think Samoa Joe could really help stabilize that locker room going forward.
Yeah, I think that I agree with you. I think that Joe is a good stabilizing force in the locker room. He also commands a lot of respect, naturally, and so I feel like guys would be willing to listen to him. Like you said, this pay-per-view didn't have a lot of build. They seemed to put everything into. They went all in on All In, but I'm not totally I guess clued in on Shane Taylor, but I did watch the match and I did like the match. I thought he did well. It wasn't necessary. I wouldn't say that was a pay-per-view match, though. That's just my opinion.
No,
I don't think this is a pay-per-view.
But it was.
I don't want to say. I, I don't know that we should weight shame right here, but I will say the one thing.
Steve, you get in the ring and then tell me you don't blow up in 2 minutes, and then talk to me about fat, right?
You know, this episode, this pay-per-view, it felt more like a loaded 2-week episode of Dynamite.
2.5 weeks.
It felt like that. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense. I think when you look at the card, you can put the stories together, but there was no real story. And I think that was my main issue with this. And the fact that Tony Khan is doubling down for next year on this, I'm sitting here scratching my head wondering why.
What do you mean he's doubling down?
He's doing the exact same thing next year.
They announced it already?
Absolutely. He said that he likes tradition and he wants to keep All Out on Labor Day weekend, and he's having All In on, it was August 25th, I think it was.
So let me ask you this. Did he say where All Out was going to be next year?
It's Chicago.
Here's the thing, right?
It's a mistake.
Go ahead and protect the sheriff. Go ahead and protect the sheriff.
For this year, right? Because I've seen other people. No, don't put me in the book. I've seen other people say this, right? The Tony Khan has a contract with the pay-per-view providers, right? Which was already set in stone when All In and All Out was established. He did attempt to do a bundle, but one, it's not all up to him, and two, that's easier said than done. It didn't work out. So this year, you get a pass. What I was going to say is next year, please don't do that bullshit again. We don't need back-to-back pay-per-views on 100%. on the weekends. Okay, that's just sorry, Tony. I know you're not gonna take this fucking shit or whatever you said.
He's looking like that because he can't believe you're saying anything that's actually against what he's trying to do. He's just as flabbergasted as me.
There's no reason, especially that you have these on Bleacher Report, and I think that's the majority of what happens. Screw the other pay-per-views. You could have worked something out with Bleacher Report and said if you buy on BR, you get 2 for $80, and you could have saved $20. And I think a lot of people would have been more inclined to do it.
All I'm saying is,
I mean, exactly.
So I'm saying is Samoa Joe is a big man, but he's got the cardio. Let's leave it at that.
Speaking of big man and cardio, the next match we're going to talk about is for the TNT Championship. Luchasaurus defending Christian's championship against one Darby Allin.
This match was way better than I thought it was going to be. And I think we all picked Darby to win. Executive consultant, you picked Darby. You picked Darby.
I definitely did not.
We have it.
Definitely did
not. Go back to the show. Go back to the show because you picked him. You did, and you know it, and you're questioning.
What show did I do where I picked him?
We did the show. We did the prediction.
All Out review or yes, All In? We did an All Out prediction show.
We did.
I'll go back, but I know I picked Darby Allin to lose.
All right, well, we'll see.
Not the amnesia, but I actually picked Luchasaurus, who is essentially a stand-in for your father, Christian Cage.
It was a good match. It was a good match, and I thought they built Lucha. Darby didn't lose anything in this, and Lucha definitely looked great.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Steve Scott. Poker Face.
It's a fantastic show. Poker Face.
Chris Statlander defended the TBS Championship against one Ruby Riott.
This match was absolute dog shit. It was ass completely. And I know Sheriff agrees with me because let me tell you, the fact that Ruby Soho did not win is absolute ridiculous. She did her little signature off the top rope, middle rope, whatever it was, and then her Soho Riot Bomb, whatever the hell it's called. I don't even know what her finisher is. Should have won the belt. The fact that AEW right now, and I am a huge AEW fan, they are not protecting the finishers enough right now.
They never have, truthfully.
Not protecting the finishers.
I was just about to say, when did AEW ever protect finishers? When did they ever do it?
And it's
I don't expect any of their finishers.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm all for, listen, on a pay-per-view, if you want to have somebody kick out of a finisher, fine. If you're going to do it on a weekly episodic episode, it's overkill. It's overkill. You need to protect your finisher. It is supposed to be one of the best moves that you can. I'm going to tell you this. The one move right now that's the most protected is the absolute most ridiculous move. Do you know what it is?
One-man angel?
Nope.
The super kick?
The double clothesline. That has been the most protected move.
Because it's only been around for like 1 month.
Okay, who's kicked out of it?
Who's lost to it? Like three teams?
My point. That is the most AEW has ever protected a finisher, and it's a BS finisher. But go on.
Steve, you show up in the impact zone. That's what you do when you can't hack it in WWE and AEW. Yeah, I like Ruby, but she not being Chris. I don't agree. She not being Chris Statlander. She deserves an opportunity, but not right. She gotta get in line. I'm sorry,
Sheriff. My big thing is this: Jade Cargill had one of the best storylines in women's run. Not just women, but she had one of the best runs in AEW history. I know it's not a big history; it's only 5 years, but you end her run on a ridiculous.
Gotta hit it 3 times.
Trey, I had to hit it 3 times with how bad they ended her fantastic run.
She legitimately had a top 5 championship run, which is saying a lot because AEW has a lot of championships. But she legitimately had a top 5 championship run in AEW in their 5-year history. And did they come crashing down kind of, what are you looking like that for? Sure.
She had one of the best runs in all of pro wrestling over the past 2
I'm
years.
trying to think if her run was top 5.
You name 5 championship runs in AEW that was better than Jade Cargill's. And then they named St. Orange Cassidy International Championship. That's it.
That was a good run.
That's the only one I would put over. Maybe
okay.
Chris Jericho.
What about Jericho's first world title?
Yeah, maybe Chris Jericho's first title run. After
Okay,
that, I got nothing else. I got nothing left.
Nope. John Moxley's first world title.
Out of the question.
What about Hangman and Kenny's?
Definitely not Hangman. I can make an argument for Kenny.
I was talking about the tag titles.
No.
Kenny was a fantastic run.
Kenny was a good run, yes.
Not sure it was better than Jade's.
Britt Baker's world title run. I mean,
wait.
Possibly.
Kenny Omega was the belt collector. How was that not better than Jade's?
His title reign was pretty much because he was a belt collector because he was winning more than just the AEW World Championship. If you take all the other championships he won out, I don't think the run would have been as memorable.
Yeah.
There are 2 men.
I liked Jade's run, but people say she didn't really beat anybody, and when you look at it, she really.
It's the presence, kind of like Roman Reigns. It's the presence.
Roman Reigns beat everybody in their mouth. I don't know about that one.
I'm going to tell you this, and I give Roman Reigns a lot of respect for this, and I'm going to give John Moxley a lot of respect for it, and Kenny Omega a lot of respect. They carried their promotions through the pandemic, which was one of the most difficult times to be a champion, to get a reaction, to get over, to get the ratings. They did.
Is it?
I think so.
Without having the crowd there to distract you, it's hard to. I think that's easier.
I think one of the crowds are one of the best things about pro wrestling, and not having the crowd that was one of my big knocks on watching WWE during the pandemic was it looked Bush League watching them.
Not
And
necessarily. It actually looked very professional, especially in the
Stop it.
Thunderdome. No,
Stop
during the Thunderdome era, it looked very professional.
Thunderdome,
He's in show mode, just so you know.
Thunderdome
No,
was
I'm dead serious.
You
if you talk about the performance,
you like
center,
that little
I understand
screen.
what he's talking about. I'm not going to disagree with that. But if you talk about the Thunderdome, I thought the Thunderdome was very well, and I thought actually their product improved tremendously because of the Thunderdome because they didn't have the crowd there to hurt it. They were able to control what you see without the crowd booing.
That's what I was saying. It's easier.
People go over like Bailey. That's why you had Apollo Crews do better during the Thunderdome era because they weren't fans there like this is boring.
AEW had a better pandemic era than WWE.
AEW used Papa's money so they can use the damn Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium and do something. That's the only reason I can look better. No. So they had enough space to have people spread out, but it did not.
Are we admonishing a company for using their money to improve the product? Is that what's going on right now?
What's going on is he's making excuses of why he thinks AEW looked better during the pandemic era than the WWE. That's not true.
I'm not gonna. I didn't watch WWE. Really. I haven't in you. I'm not gonna say it was a better show,
we know.
I did think it was a better strategy to have the employees or the other wrestlers cheer in the crowd as opposed to have screens like that. Just
so you can actually see fans.
Those are they fans? If like you can't even hear them, it's piped in noise.
Yeah. The Thunderdome was a joke.
The Thunderdome was not a joke. They were making record money before now. They were making record money during the Thunderdome era because people were tuning in because they're able to tell a better story. Roman Reigns became the tribal chief during the Thunderdome era.
I don't understand you WWE marks. You literally will defend everything WWE.
Oh, no, pot and kettle. Because AEW marks always defend every single thing.
That hasn't even happened on this show.
What?
That AEW fans defended everything.
Everything. Every time you say something negative about AEW product of anything, they go around and talk about, oh, no, it's great. It's better than WWE. You know, there's no way you can tell me the pandemic era in AEW just because they had some wrestlers around there because they paid them all too much money, didn't want to get rid of them because they didn't want to have bad publicity. But realistically, they employed all these people they didn't need.
No, that's all. No, you can't say that. That's always been true.
No.
They don't release people unless it's like a crazy situation. Like who was it, Jimmy Havoc, where he had to go to rehab and he was wild. Like they don't release people.
They don't release people because Tony Khan, your mark of the owner, All Elite Wrestling.
Vince is a mark. We keep going.
Vince is the creator. Okay, but Tony Khan is an internet troll who has money, bought the company, is still a fan, and he doesn't want the bad publicity by all the Twitter idiots that go around saying, how dare you fire this person I haven't seen in months and I completely forgot about. Because there are a lot of people who get fired in WWE who ain't been on TV in years. And as soon as they get released,
I think that's
somebody comes back and says, oh my God, how did they release them? Why do they release them? Are they kidding me?
I think that's y'all wanting to believe you have more power than you actually do. Okay, he's not having, hundreds of people on the books just because he's scared of tweets. This is obviously a business philosophy. This is obviously a business philosophy.
What business philosophy is to waste money?
It's not a waste of money. If you sign somebody, it's because you believe that there's value. So you give them the length of a contract and you give them that time to prove that value. If it's not there,
Steve, help me out. Steve, help me out because we're going on to the next one. But help me out. Find me a couple people on the AEW roster who's really making money on that show. Go ahead, please do that.
Really making money.
Yeah, please do that.
Whoa. Time out. Back it up. Yeah. What?
Yeah, I don't understand.
You were like they stay on the roster, right? They stay on the roster because it's a good business decision.
I didn't say that. I said it's his business philosophy.
Solo. Tell me how Aaron Solo, right, is a good business decision to keep because if they cut Aaron Solo tomorrow, there's not.
Tony Khan obviously signed
Jack Perry. Tell me what Jack Perry is making the company money.
By the way, you're absolutely wrong. But second of all, about Jack Perry, 100%. I said that it's his business philosophy. He signs people that he sees value in for a certain amount of time. And he gives them that certain amount of time to realize that value that he sees in them. If it doesn't work
It
out,
gives him
he lets them
years
go.
to waste money out of his pocket.
It's not your money though. What do you care? What do you
I'm
care?
saying you can't sit here and
Okay,
tell me
hold
this
on,
is
hold
a
on.
good conscious
Are you
business
telling me that?
decision.
Are you telling me WWE doesn't keep people on payroll years doing nothing?
And then when they release them, everybody gets upset.
But they don't release them. They just don't resign them. JTG just didn't get resigned. Like he was on there for 10 years doing nothing.
During the pandemic era,
JTG was
they
on there
let go
for
of
10
like
years doing
25 people. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, how can he do that?" So then, what Triple H do, because he wants to be with the Twitter people too. He brings back all these people, and none of them done anything since they
You know
came
that
back.
those were people that he actually liked and believed in.
And Vince said they're not doing anything. Let them go. And Triple H said, "I'm the game, and I'm going to bring them back and make them do something." And then carry across, you did nothing.
Listen, man. Sometimes things don't work out. It's what it is.
At the end of the day, Tony Khan gave people jobs and he paid people. He paid them. And it's better to let them lick.
Luchasaurus ain't making no money.
It doesn't matter who's making money and not making money.
Oh, come on.
He kept Sonny Kiss around for a long time.
Luchasaurus
What
has
happened to
2
Sonny
runs
Kiss?
under him where he was in one of the hottest acts in the company.
Sonny Kiss was just released. Sonny Kiss was just released.
Who cares?
Oh, now it's who cares.
Sonny Kiss wasn't released. Her contract expired.
You tell her, Charmaine.
Misinformation.
You tell her, Charmaine. Ding dong, you're wrong, Sheriff.
Bro, you always say that, Charmaine. That's how I know I'm right.
Where's Nyla Rose?
Nyla Rose has been on TV for like how long? She's constantly on TV.
Sonny Kiss.
Yeah, but if she got released tomorrow, no one would care. No, not one person would care. Let's talk about the strap match. Strap match between Bryan Danielson versus who was the guy?
Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks.
Not who's the guy. Damn, Ricky. Rip.
And
by the way, Bryan Danielson was a replacement rumored for CM Punk, who was supposed to be in this match. Good thing that happened because this match was fire. Because Bryan Danielson is the GOAT. He's the best one. I don't really know what to tell you. He went out there short notice. Nobody even knew he was coming back. All right, he just came off a broken arm and he put on a banger. He says that Ricky Starks actually carried him through that match. Because remember, he wasn't supposed to be in it. So he had to learn a lot of the spots on the fly. I think that even though Ricky Starks did lose, I think it's a coming out party for him in a way because this was probably one of the biggest stages he's been on, and the crowd was really, really engaged in the match. The match went really well, and he was working with someone like Bryan, who's one of, if not their biggest star. And then this is jumping ahead, but then he had a really, really good promo on Dynamite. So I think that they're continuing the push for Ricky, even though he did get the L here.
Sheriff is definitely jumping ahead all night. I don't know why. But Ricky Starks, Daniel Bryan had a good match. Why? Because Daniel Bryan can have a good match with a broom. You know, that's kind of man Daniel Bryan is. One of the best wrestlers ever to lace up a pair of boots. And one of the most popular wrestlers ever to lace up a pair of boots, if you ask me, replacing one unrightfully fired CM Punk.
I'm sorry, you think unrightfully?
Yeah, unrightfully.
Are we gonna get into this?
This man is such a hypocrite because he was the one saying to me, "Oh, good job, Tony Khan, for finally firing him. Oh, he's a bitch." Da, 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 da. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it, executive consultant, because all you do is flip flop.
Chris is a smart guy. I know he's trolling. He doesn't believe that.
CM Punk being fired was not a good decision. After careful research, I found out that CM Punk was set up by the Elite.
No, you didn't find that out. That was a conspiracy theory told to you with no evidence. You ran with it.
There's plenty of evidence.
By the way, according to Jim
Cornette,
Megan set him up and she's sleeping with the boys, and it's everybody else's fault that he choked out his coworker. That's what's going on here.
His coworker was suffering from he was choking on something and he was trying to give him a Heimlich maneuver.
Good guy Punk.
Yeah. This was a fantastic match.
Eddie Kingston, Shibata versus Blackpool Combat Club.
Blackpool Combat Pool. Okay. I don't watch New Japan. I don't watch any Japanese wrestling really.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, never have. So I'm not entirely sure who that was or how to say the name. I'm really
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't know who Eddie Kingston is either. I mean, there are a few times where I thought I saw him at the zoo somewhere. Look, all I'm saying is this match has Cesaro in it. That's the only thing that interests me.
Claudio Castagnoli, Cesaro is dead.
I'm not
But
interested.
the
in
match was
anything.
good. The match was really, really, really fun. Eddie was over like wildfire because who doesn't love Eddie Kingston besides the executive consultant?
I'm
Nope.
gonna be honest. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
go ahead.
A hostile environment. CM Punk was a victim?
CM Punk has never been a victim his entire life. What is this?
I think it was set up.
Chris's
I think
burner
he was-
account over here.
Definitely not a burner account.
What is this? Chris is never right. What do
Chris
you mean?
Chris is always right. Hey,
This is
look,
trolling.
CM Punk was definitely in a hostile work environment. Definitely. He was set up by the elite.
Wasn't it CM Punk that said this is professional wrestling, not ballet? Get a hold of yourself.
He
He
did.
got a hold of he got a hold of Jungle
Of a
Jim.
pink slip. That's what he got a hold of.
CM Punk was singing the praises of AEW, saying that the past 7 years
Because his check cleared.
WWE was not even really a part of his career.
His check cleared.
Now, in AEW, this is
Kingston does
his
that.
career in wrestling.
You see, a lot of people don't like Eddie Kingston, right?
Eddie Kingston's not good.
You know,
A lot
I
of
feel like if
people
you
don't
like
like
Eddie
Eddie
Kingston,
Kingston.
if you like Eddie Kingston, you're giving out change to homeless people. Look, Eddie Kingston is not good, right? Not good. He's not believable to me.
He looks like
just-
a New York City bus driver.
He's not a wrestler.
Eddie Kingston is the essence of wrestling.
Stop it.
Eddie Kingston is everything that's wrong with professional wrestling,
I agree with that.
No.
and he has a job, making more money than me. That's a problem.
Listen. Real
The
ones
man was just
know.
eating his muffins after a hard night's work, and then you have 4 bozos running him down. I agree. Nobody talks about the fact that in their first initial fight at All Out last year,
All in.
All In, All Out, whatever, at All Out last year, that no, it was All Out last year, that you had 4 jabronis enter his room, enter his locker room.
After
Okay.
he invited them. Go ahead.
No, they went over there. They went over there with the intentions. You know how they go. Okay, where you from? You
Yeah,
from
with their
Queens?
lawyer. With their lawyer, they went to fight.
Yeah, they had extra hands, so he had to defend himself.
No, he didn't.
Aren't you from Queens?
No.
You from the Bronx,
No.
Brooklyn?
There you go.
Brooklyn. Okay,
I was almost offended. When you said Queens, I was offended.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Either way, it's a hostile territory, right? So you have to remember how it is when 4 people enter your place, and you know you don't like them. Yeah, swing, mofo, swing. That's what's.
I want to be clear because it does sound like this. I'm not saying the Elite did nothing wrong. I don't even think they should be EVPs anymore because they just been wilding for what, a good 2 years. They've been no. They've been good ever since that event. They've been good. They've been quiet. They haven't done anything. But
they didn't say CM Punk apart.
CM Punk said, if you have a problem with me, come speak to me. Think about it like this. Mega
So they had to
Perret,
come
she
5
is the
deep.
chief legal officer. The Elite are EVPs. They're going to speak to a employee that 1 invited them, that 2 they need to speak to hash out the situation. They have the legal representative there. They go to the locker room and their employee swings on them and his friend bites them. There's a dog in the room.
Why are you going 5 deep? If you can't eat your muffins at work, what other options do you have
all
to defend
5
yourself
of them
when a
were
small vanilla
involved in
midget
it.
named Jungle Jim steps up to you? I agree with that statement.
Wait, what? If you can't even eat your muffins,
Right. How would you feel eating your muffins at work and these 5 people that don't like you?
you
and
keep
don't
saying
like
defend yourself. No one hit Punk. Punk was the one going
he's
in.
not going to sit there and wait for 5 people to jump him. He's going to swing
But
first.
they weren't trying
You're
to
from
jump
Brooklyn.
him.
You know what it's about. You know what's
Okay,
up.
who have the Elite ever jumped? CM Punk has been in fights before. CM Punk is known to be a backstage. I don't want to say cancer because that's not fair, but he's irritable. He was never this volatile. I don't know why he started fighting it.
I don't understand why Sheriff and Dan are trying to defend
But
him.
when has the Elite ever had like a problem like that? Like when have you seen them jump somebody? Like
I'll tell you who they did jump. Takeshita. And that's why he lost at All Out. God, I hate the fact they did these 2 pay-per-views so close together and they had the same name. At All Out, Kenny Omega versus Takeshita for pride or to rub Don Callis' bald head. Either way, Kenny Omega takes the L. What did you 2 think of this match?
I was surprised.
Fantastic match.
I was surprised. I thought Kenny was gonna win.
I mean, I think we all had an idea that Kenny probably was going to win, but then when you really thought about it, Kenny really had nothing to gain by winning because it was almost the end of a feud at that point. Takeshita had so much. Takeshita had so much to gain.
Do they plan to do more with him?
Absolutely.
Okay. In that case, fair enough. Because I was like, isn't he like, he's not full time.
Oh no, he's full time. He signed to AEW.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
No, he is signed to AEW.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Well, then in that case, I can see that. And Kenny didn't. I mean, Kenny's Kenny. He loses a lot more than he really should. But I mean, at the end of the day, he's still Kenny. So people are always gonna believe him.
Right. No, I think Kenny should probably get another title run here pretty soon. What?
You want to reward somebody who's your biggest draw out the company?
Does not need to be the AEW championship, but him with the TNT title or the international
Ring of Honor Television Championship.
Something. I think he needs another title.
There's plenty of championships to go around, so why not?
There's
PBS
plenty.
Championship maybe.
Yep.
So next match we're going to talk about is Bullet Club Gold versus the Young Bucks. More losers in FTR. Who's probably upset. They probably don't even want to work together anymore. Sure. FTR came out there with a tear in their eye because their best friend left.
I mean,
you're mighty quiet.
Yeah, I don't.
Did you not see the match?
I mean, I did, but do I have to go first?
All right, fine.
All right, fine. So, this match.
You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it.
This match could have been so much more. And
I agree.
Yet, it was still solid. It just needed. I needed a little more out of it. I don't. FTR and the Young Bucks had nothing to gain necessarily by winning, and the Bullet Club Gold had all to gain by winning. And I think it was the right move for the Bullet Club to win. I'm a little surprised that FTR took the fall, though.
It's more ways in backstage politics, right? So now they got CM Punk out there. FTR's feeling themselves, just smelling themselves a little bit. That's what they're doing.
I mean,
I'm not sold on the Gun Boys or who are they? They were with Jay White and Juice Robinson, I think.
Yeah, I'm starting to like them.
Yeah,
I've never been a Juice Robinson fan, but I like the entrance and I like the Gun Club. They sold me.
Yep.
I didn't hate the match, but I wasn't as excited for this one just because I'm not necessarily a fan of those guys. I like FTR, obviously. I like the Young Bucks, but
ho. Actually, I shouldn't be surprised. Why would you like the Young Bucks?
Young Bucks are phenomenal.
They suck.
Yeah, the Young Bucks are very, very entertaining and creative.
They're very, very sucky.
They're phenomenal.
They're great.
And they're also part of the reason why CM Sucks is not there.
They're part of the reason. They're part of the reason AEW exists, and we're even.
Do not speak about Generation Me in this tone.
Who the hell is Generation Me?
Oh,
actually, I'm glad you brought up the fact that they were Generation Me because that's all they think about is themselves.
By the way, the Young Bucks had nothing to do with that. He fought Jack Perry.
Yeah, but they're behind it. They're pulling strings. Trust me. Right now, daughter says, my daughter say hello before she went to sleep. Tomorrow's her first day of you, my daughter. Apparently, she's pregnant.
Her first day of what?
Yeah, Charmaine's pregnant. Her daughter's getting born tomorrow. Y'all support these dog abusers. You're right, because they beat up the dog.
They did not. Kenny actually went and took the dog and got it out of the way.
Because his dad was fighting. He needs a new dad. He needs a Christian.
He does. CM Punk needs to find.
Bullet Club Gold takes the victory. Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley for the International Championship is your main event. I mean, we talked about it. We said it. I told you that Orange Cassidy's fantastic run one of the best title runs I've seen in the last 5 years outside of Roman Reigns.
Are we skipping the women?
There's a women's match. Did we say it? The women's match? Chris Sandler versus Ruby Riott?
We did.
The Sheeta one? Or was that on the Sheeta one?
No, that was a 6-woman tag. That was in 0 hour.
That was in 0 hour. Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, we're not sexist over here. I mean, maybe you are. I don't know.
Come on now, Sheriff. Come on now.
Yeah. So, Orange Cassidy, Jon Moxley. Hey, this match is actually pretty good. No surprise there because Orange Cassidy's in the match. Jon Moxley and Dean Ambrose does his thing. But
Stop it. Oh my god.
Dean Ambrose is dead.
Poor Renee Young. What is she doing?
Shut up.
Orange Cassidy, fantastic job, fantastic run. I hope you take a break because you deserve a break because I can tell you are hurt, but I know your stubborn ass ain't going to do it. If you're going to keep on going, you should have kept the championship. Dean Ambrose did not need that championship. Dan the Man, what you got to say?
Jon Moxley did not need that championship. It would have been the right move to put it on OC moving forward, to keep it on him. And the main reason is OC getting a victory over Jon Moxley would have been huge for OC. And it would have catapulted him to another level. If you were going to do this, it made no sense to already reestablish an established star. You need to establish new stars. OC has been building himself up to be more legitimate and not just a gimmick. And I think you still legitimized him, and he's not just a gimmick after that match. But the icing on the cake would have been the retaining of the title over your top star in the company.
Yeah. Bryan Danielson reacted to this match. He said that it's hard for him to argue that Jon Moxley is not the best wrestler in the world, but if he were to argue, he would say that it's Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy is in the run of his career. He is a star. He just headlined a pay-per-view. He's got a really, really long and successful title reign under his belt. He probably lost the title, 1, because he's hurt. 2, it's a mid-card title. Maybe they want to start moving him up the ranks to get more of a world title. I guess we'll see with that. And Jon Moxley is their go-to. I think he's going to be the first AEW Grand Slam champion. I could see him getting the tag titles in the future too, maybe with Eddie. I know you're not going to really like that, but yeah. And he's
talking about Orange Cassidy being one of the best champions and best wrestlers out there, and you want to pair him with one of the worst. That's what you're telling me.
So
I said Jon Moxley with Eddie because they have a history of teaming together.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. Oh no. I think Jon Moxley could be the first Grand Slam AEW champion. Gets off the title.
How long you been watching wrestling? Do you like to watch WWE or AEW, and why? He has been watching wrestling almost his entire life. He prefers to watch AEW. And it's because he doesn't know good wrestling if a bit on his ass.
Well, hold on. Are you going to speak for me? You're going to speak for me? What are you, my girlfriend?
What are you, Christian? He's Luchasaurus.
My first wrestling event was WrestleMania 14, Stone Cold Shawn Michaels, and fell in love with the product since. Been watching it. WCW was my go-to.
In Boston, Sheriff, Boston.
WCW was my go-to ever since the demise. I did watch both during the Monday Night War era. WCW was my go-to. After that, just watched WWF. Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression Era were the best eras in professional wrestling. Now you have this PG era. I don't care for WWE because of the PG era. I prefer AEW to WWE.
I didn't realize you went that far back.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that far back. I was started at WrestleMania 3, but that's me. Now, that being said,
excuse me. All right.
Let's go ahead and end this AEW All In edition. AEW All Out edition. Let's talk about some bulletin points from AEW Dynamite from tonight. Sheriff, what do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about? Wait, what? Did y'all watch the Bash at the Beach where Cole Tom Parker hired a midget to plant a bomb and sting in British Bulldog's throat?
That was a television show. Sheriff, what are we talking about with AEW Dynamite?
Okay, well, the show actually, we were just talking about him. The show started with Orange Cassidy. And
Oh God, really?
He came out to be stubborn and say he ain't going nowhere to deal with it.
This is correct. It was pretty marvelous. Pretty marvelous.
He looks injured. I don't want him. He ended up like Jeff Hardy.
Whoa.
Well, here's the open secret in wrestling. Everybody's hurt. Everybody.
I mean, I know that. Sure.
Yeah. So
you still need to take some time.
I agree, but in his mind, the environment that he's in, he's probably encouraged and probably thinks that this is what it means to be a wrestler and work hard, that you don't take time off. So don't ignore my comment. Let's acknowledge the midget planted a bomb on their boat.
It wasn't wrestling. It was a show. Oh, my God. Friday, I want to see Mercedes Martinez wrestle at the Bronx. You see that reaction? That's the same reaction Mercedes Martinez has when she comes out the locker room.
That is correct.
What else we talking about, Sheriff?
What was next? Oh, the Open Challenge, for the TBS Championship. That was Chris Statlander, Emi Sakura. Emi Sakura actually, whenever she has matches, she tends to put on really, really good matches.
She does.
I feel like I haven't seen her in a while. She used to show up a lot, especially in the beginning, like 2019 when AEW first started. Maybe that was the
She's on contract and paid this whole time. Good business decision.
She was not under contract. Sure. She's from but yeah. What do you guys think about the match?
Chris Statlander's TBS run has been very dramatic. I don't like it. And I actually thought she should have won the TBS title off of Jade. I just don't think it should have been in the way that it did. I thought it should have been at All In.
I agree.
I just think well, I'm sorry, what was that?
I agree.
Yeah. I don't care for it. I don't care for her current run. It's bland.
Speaking of things that is bland and don't care for, do you think that CJ Lana is going to wrestle? Yes, no. And I think she's going to win.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because AEW and Tony Khan make smart decisions.
You're acting like Lana's never wrestled before.
They knew not to have her in the ring. They masked.
Did they? Do you remember when they had her face to face with, who was it, Becky Lynch or somebody? And she's like, "Who's gonna challenge me for my title?" Then she got face to face with Lana, and everybody in the crowd was like, "Be serious, be so for real. What's Lana gonna do?"
Oh
yeah, it was Naomi. I remember that clip.
Right, and they never took it seriously. Every time she got in the ring, they never took it seriously because WWE knew. But Lana wanted to be the one that goes.
WWE put Eva Marie in the ring.
I'm just gonna.
Eva Marie is a good character though.
I'm gonna do a shameless little NXT right now.
But that don't got nothing to do with the ring.
Go ahead.
We're going to have a pretty great match main event NXT next week with Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton.
Yes, we are.
Excited.
Tiffany Stratton's the future. She's the future. I'm telling you.
Why is Becky Lynch in NXT?
I'm sorry. What was that?
So they can help put over some of those wrestlers over there. That's why they have the greatest NXT North American champion of all time, Dominic Mysterio, over there. The greatest.
Okay. So, Chris Jericho and Sammy
Guevara versus holding the TNT champion. He is the champion.
Charmaine.
Oddly the champion.
Going, you're wrong. Christian is the champion.
What? Oh.
Chris Jericho, what about him?
Him and Sammy versus Aussie Open. The Lessex Gods versus
Aussie.
Oi.
Down under.
That was terrible. Never do that accent again.
I tried.
Failed.
E for effort.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
She said something about F or fail.
No.
No.
How did Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara do?
I feel like they've done this turn like 12 times.
They start and stop it. This time it's not going to stop.
It was solid.
Yeah, the match was solid, but it really was just an alley-oop for the end part where they got the win, but they had a bit of a falling out. And then they shove each other a little bit, but Sammy, he gets a hold of himself like CM Punk should have done, and he just walks away.
And I think at Full Gear we're looking at Jericho and Guevara, and I'm actually looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to the next segment, MJF's promo. What say you, Exec?
Let's see. How long was this one? 20 minutes? 25? Go ahead.
The match or the promo?
His promo. His promo was always so long.
It was him and Samoa Joe came out, and they made reference to what happened at All Out, which we didn't talk about. After they won their title defense in the beginning, Samoa Joe came out for his match, and he reenacted the shove that he gave to MJF all those years ago when MJF was playing a bouncer in WWE, and Samoa Joe was in NXT as a champion. MJF came out, and MJF, like I said many, many, many eons ago on this show, can be a babyface because he's talented. He's multi-talented. He can do both. Get you a man that can do both, okay? And he's working the crowd. They're cheering for him. Joe comes out, and they're cheering for Joe. But by the end of it, they were booing him because he's also really, really good at being a heel. And he's like, I pushed you because you're a little bitch and I don't like you. MJF told a story about how William Regal blew him off after he didn't sign him to WWE because, MJF likes to tell his stories about how people didn't give him a chance and he worked hard. And
sounds like somebody's a little annoyed by MJF's promos.
I'm not annoyed.
Lies.
I'm not annoyed, but it was he was doing because MJF in reality, his character, it doesn't change when he's a heel or a face. He kind of says and does the same things. Only difference is he brings the crowd in on it. Yep. So he'll still be really, really egotistical, that's what that was. It's like, okay, bro, we get it. WWE didn't sign you. It's like, the ego thing, but it is what it is. And yeah, they had some words. Adam Cole came out. Good stuff. What say you guys?
MJF can always cut a fantastic promo. I don't think anybody doubts his abilities to cut promos. I think that's the one thing that makes MJF. He's good. He's good in the ring. He is good in the ring, but it's his mic skills that really tell the story and that really get him going and really get you invested into the character and into the storyline and into the match. So MJF doesn't cut a bad promo. It just doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Can he cut a short promo? That's what I want to see. Because ever since I started getting back into watching AEW Dynamite, every freaking week I have to see him come out and cut a 45-minute promo.
That's Triple H's impact.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. This Roman Reigns mark is going to start complaining.
When Triple H was the champion, that nigga never shut it up. Do you remember that? That's how the show would start every week.
But we're talking about a show that always talks about how much they're into wrestling and they want to wrestle, or is y'all
promos are part of wrestling.
Look, mofo, I don't need to hear MJF talk for an hour every single week. I just don't need to hear it.
Oh, you like the Bloodline and they're on TV for like 45 minutes in one SmackDown.
And they barely wrestle.
But they get views and ratings. They get views and ratings. It is not every week because Roman Reigns is not on SmackDown every week. So thank you very much. You're wrong. Okay, ding dong, you're wrong. Tell him, Charmaine. But MJF is on Dynamite every week, and every week I have to hear a 45-minute story, man. I don't always need to hear that, man.
What we've learned is some of us just don't have taste. It's okay.
I mean, you can see a doctor and see about getting your taste buds reactivated.
No. You have a case of COVID. And then after that, Roderick Strong, I think it was.
Roderick Strong
was a little bit. He caught a little bit of the jelly bug. He was green-eyed because Adam Cole cared about his friend MJF, and he's like, but I'm hurt too, and you didn't care about me. See, he wasn't too happy about that. But he was coming out for a match with Trent Beretta. It was the World Title Eliminator Tournament, Grand Slam.
Yep.
Strong one. So it can't be too hurt. That was my setup. That's my alley. I'm passing the ball. Who wants to catch it?
It's
No
Roddy.
hands are ready. All right, I gotta shoot.
Let me
Shot
tell you,
clock going down.
Roddy's been the most entertaining that he's been in AEW and in the time that he was in WWE and NXT. There's still more to be desired out of Roddy. Good in-ring worker, a little bit annoying on promos, but good in-ring worker. And I'm interested to see where they go with this. I think everyone's expecting, an MJF heel turn here, but I think the right move is an Adam Cole heel turn.
So, what's Roderick's last name on AEW?
Strong? Roderick Strong?
It's what?
Roderick Strong.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It really is?
That's his name.
It's what?
Roderick Strong.
Right. Because I need to know how strong is the cocaine that you're snorting there, Dan.
I knew you were setting up something.
I can't get why you think his run in AEW is doing so much better than his run in NXT. Doesn't make sense to me.
Because he actually gets real time.
And he's showing why he would never make a main roster thing. He can't do it. It's not in him. It's not in him at all. He just sounds like a whiny baby. Now I know why we used to call David Sanderson Roderick Strong's son, because it reminds me.
That's true.
It's similar.
That's true.
It doesn't work. He needs somebody to tell him what to do.
David out here catching strays. Roderick Strong. I mean, I can't really say much because I'm.
What's y'all's favorite Lord Littlebrook match? I'm sorry, what? Nobody's desiring Roddy Strong. Not even Marina.
I'm not a big fan of Roddy either.
That's another person. Watch him. Never mind.
I am a big fan of Swerve Strickland, though, and he absolutely cooked Hangman Page on the mic. Now, good guy Hangman. He ran the Battle Royal. That was on the pre-show for All Out, and he won $50,000 for Chicago public schools.
Which they need.
And he was a public school teacher in his past. I remember seeing that photo.
He probably should go back.
Good guy. No. Good guy, Hangman.
Well, you know what? He can't, because he obviously can't teach, because he didn't even teach himself that he's not the best wrestler.
Anyways.
Strickland called him fat and said that you're not even anybody anymore. You've been wading the waters and just kind of turning your heels and riding on the coattails of the elite and the fact that you're Hangman and you get everything handed to you. And he says, if I got half of what you got in AEW, I'd be the first black AEW world champion, which
he might end up being.
I was gonna say, hey, don't speak too soon. You might be. Hangman, hate it had to be you because you know I love you, bro, but we riding with Strickland.
So Steve asked, y'all remember that banging Marina Shafir promo? Yeah, me neither. And I remember a banging Jessamine Duke promo. Do you remember that one, Steve? That's an inside joke. Sorry, go ahead.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I thought Dan the Man was going to follow up with something. I was wrong. Sheriff, what you got? What's next?
There's just not much to say.
There's never anything to say when Hangman Page is on. But Shane Strickland to the moon.
Okay, this is me looking at what happened next. Oh, Darby Allin versus Nick Wayne.
And that's the show, ladies and gentlemen, because there's no way we're going to talk about some Nick Wayne.
That was the main event.
That's why I'm saying that's the show.
I thought there was something before that. Oh, well, maybe not.
No.
Oh, yeah. Darby Allin versus Nick Wayne.
But it is important to keep in mind that these are the qualifiers for the title shot at Grand Slam.
Oh, that was the worst. That's why she's not.
I actually really like Nick Wayne's entrance music.
You know who has a good entrance though? The Gun Club.
Wait.
That's true.
Steve, I want to hear about this cameo.
Steve got me a birthday present with Jessamine that bought a cameo from Jessamine Duke, and she just was the least interested person in the world. It was like she was watching her own match. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Cameos can be pretty hit or miss, yeah. Best
But
cameo I got was
Melina, he
from,
also got one from
Super
Melina.
Entertainer.
Melina did a fantastic job.
Oh, Lita?
Melina.
Oh, Melina. I was gonna say.
Did a
Melina.
fantastic job. But Justin Duke.
I first
Oh,
I don't
yes,
know why
it's
anybody
your
would
birthday.
ever get a cameo by Jessamine Duke.
That's good. She should have paid us to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was she playing a video game while she was doing it? I mean,
Well, the video game actually cut off and said she was too boring. So no, that's not what happened.
She was on her phone like, "Happy birthday, Chris." I guess.
That's actually really what she said. She was like,
She didn't say Chris. She said
No,
Colin. She's some other name that's not
She
even.
said, "Yeah." So I heard your birthday or something. So yeah, happy birthday.
that's literally what she said.
That was
Yeah.
really.
Thanks for
really
your
good.
money, sucker. Boom.
Good night. All right. Well, hey, jam-packed episode in pay-per-view we reviewed in 1 hour. Thank you so much for watching us. Sheriff joins us every fourth Wednesday for this AEW Dynamite edition, and Dan the Man joins us for the canceled Thursday Impact show. Sheriff, you don't watch it, man. Yeah, I told you that the other day. I canceled it.
The only wrestling I watch for real is AEW. I'm just gonna tell you that. Oh no. I watch GCW sometimes.
What does GCW stand for?
Game Changer Wrestling. Because it's a game changer.
You know what else is a game changer? Rehab. You need to go there because you're smoking that coke. If you're thinking that it's a good idea for you to be watching only AEW.
What else do I need? They incorporate legit every promotion except
Yeah,
WWE.
you're right. Sheriff's working your schedule. Because you or her hit me up and say, "Hey, we're doing a show today." I'm like, "Oh, for real? We're actually doing it? Okay, let's do it."
I'm working Willie's schedule.
So, Willie just don't show up. Willie was supposed to be here tonight, actually, but I told him to take the night off.
I just can't believe we're not doing it.
You didn't have to tell him he's going to take
I didn't have to tell him. Yeah.
I'm broken. I'm broken about Impact. I'm broken.
Well, I need somebody to fill in for the show with you because I can't do it anymore. And Ron does NXT. That's why I was going to ask Sheriff if she wanted to, but
Garbage.
Sheriff, watch Impact Wrestling. I'll see you tomorrow.
There's a channel on Roku of Impact. I just saw that recently.
Oh, geez.
we'll talk. We'll be in touch. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching us here at Unpopular Review. Please make sure you follow all our social media for all the shows, all 29 of them that we have each and every single week right here at Unpopular Review Wrestling and Unpopular Review Entertainment. For Dan the Man, for Sheriff, I'm the Exec Consultant, and we will see you next time right here on Unpopular Review. Good night, everybody.
Steve, join us next time.
Oh, you don't want Steve to do. You thought I was bad?